Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you how to install laminate flooring. I will be going over the process with some easy to follow step-by-step instructions. So let's get right to it. I'm going to start off by showing you a piece of laminate flooring. This is a typical piece of laminate flooring, and it is the laminate flooring that I am using. If you take a look on these sides right here, you can see that there are some things that are sticking out from the actual piece that is colored over here. On this side, you can see there's a piece that sticks out a little bit more than on this side. So we'll start off with the bigger piece that's sticking out. This is called the groove. Now, with the groove, you can see that there's a little indent because you can stick something in there. And what do you put in the groove? Well, you put the tongue, and that's on this side, the smaller piece right here. So this is the tongue, the smaller piece, and the tongue goes into the groove. Okay, now if you take a look on the other sides of the laminate flooring, you'll see that on this side there's actually a piece that is hooked upwards. So it sort of hooks up, as you can see right over there. It sort of hooks up like that. And then if we look on the other side, there is a piece that hooks downwards. So these sides interlock with each other on other pieces of laminate flooring. So you have basically, just to recap, the groove and the tongue. The tongue goes into the groove, and then you have an upwards hooking and downwards hooking on both ends, and they interlock. Now I'm going to show you how to install a typical piece of laminate flooring. So I have this space right over here. I'm going to be installing it on this space right over here. Okay, so if you take a look right here, sorry about that. If you take a look right here, we have an upwards hook of this piece of laminate flooring. Now I'm going to take this piece right here, and I'm going to get the downwards hook and hook it into the upwards hook because they connect. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to get the tongue of the laminate flooring, and I'm going to press it into the groove of these pieces of laminate right here. Now, as you can see, there is a seam right here, okay? So these are two separate pieces of laminate. This is one piece, this is another piece. The piece that I'm installing right here will hold these two together a little bit better, okay? So this is how to actually install it. You're going to take the piece of laminate flooring, you're going to get it into position, and you're going to put it in sort of at an angle like that. The tongue is going into the groove at an angle like that. So let's just get it into position like that. The tongue is now into the groove. Now I'm going to slide it up against this piece right here to connect those hooks. So I'm sliding it all the way like that. I'm going to start to move it downwards. Now you'll notice that it doesn't go fully downwards. It's not fully pressed down yet. So what you need to use is a tapping block. So with the tapping block, you can apply an even amount of force to get the tongue nicely into the groove. So you're going to take a hammer or a mallet, and you're just going to lightly tap it to get the tongue into the groove. And you'll notice that the piece of laminate will bend down and flatten out. That's what you want. You want a nice clean look. So I'm just going to take this hammer and I'm going to tap in a few different places to get the laminate nice and installed properly. Just like that. Just like that. And one over here. Just like that. As you can see, it is nice and flat. It looks, in my opinion, perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to talk to you about a few of the other things that you should consider and do when you're installing laminate flooring. So as you can see here, this is the job that I am doing right now. This is my basement, and I am installing some laminate flooring. So basically, this is where I'm at so far in one of the rooms. And okay, so here are some things that you have to consider when you are installing laminate flooring. You need a little bit of space around the perimeter of the room for expansion. So laminate flooring expands and contracts, and you don't want it to be pressing up against the wall because that may cause the laminate flooring to buckle and crack. You don't want that. So you want a little bit of space around the room. Now you can use these spacers right here, and I have them spaced just at various parts throughout the perimeter, and you want space all around the perimeter of the room. How much space do you need? Well, it all depends on the size of the room and a whole bunch of conditions, but as a rule of thumb, I would say at least 1/4 of an inch and probably more. But it all depends on a wide variety of factors. So that's the first thing that you need to consider when you are installing laminate flooring. The next thing that I want to talk about is staggering the seams. So if you take a look right here, you'll notice that there's a seam right there. There's a seam right there, okay? And if you look over here, like the seams are all staggered. So you have, well, let's get the camera to focus. You have a seam there. On the next row, the seam is there. On the next row, the seam is there. On the next row, the seam is there. So you have all of these seams that you want to stagger. Now, the reason that you should do that is for very good and sturdy enforcement. So you want the laminate flooring to be nicely in place. You don't want to worry about it popping out or buckling or anything like that. So when you stagger the seams, you are reinforcing the pieces of laminate flooring and they are supporting each other. Now, here's a quick tip. When you are doing a row, okay, and you get to the end, you're gonna probably have to make a cut. I have a closet there, but even if it's a rectangular room or a square room, you're gonna have to make a cut for the last piece of laminate flooring. So when you cut that piece over there, take the excess of the cut and use it to start the next row. Then you finish that, and if you continually do that, you will likely have staggered seams. And what you can do, if you happen to have two cuts that are a similar length, what you can do is you can use a full piece of flooring, and that's what I do. I started with a full piece of flooring on that first row, then I used a cut piece on the next row, then a full piece, then a cut piece, then a full piece, then a cut piece, and so forth. That is a quick tip for you to consider. But overall, installing laminate flooring is actually really simple. I'm just going to turn the camera around. Installing laminate flooring is actually really easy to do, and I've shown you exactly how to do it in this video. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video tutorial. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.